Hello, we are live. Hello, Believers. I'm Cassandra Joy, and welcome to my channel. I can't decide if you are not propped up enough. I might not have propped you up high enough. I might need to add some more books. You're currently propped on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books because that's how we roll. Total professionalism. Who needs a tripod when you have a bajillion books at your disposal? I'm gonna prop you up a little bit more, I think. So give me a second. Get settled in. If you haven't grabbed yourself a snack, now's the time to do so. See how you look from here. That should be a little better. Let's see. Maybe one book less. That's better. Yay. All right. Get cozy in my little reading nook here. Let's see. Oh, I clicked something. There we go. That's better. Hello. Welcome, everybody. This is the first session of NaNoWriMo, where, if you don't know what that is, it's called National Novel Writing Month. You spend the whole month with the inclination to write a novel. I'm not going to come anywhere close to finishing one, but I'd like to work on one. Hello, people are starting to arrive. My daughter says hi. Hello, nice to see you. Sarah, thanks for coming. Sorry I was a couple minutes late. I was trying to figure out a thumbnail, which took a little more doing than should have done. But we're here now. We're good. I've got some tea, an entire pitcher's worth of tea that's steeping. I've got a mug that says, "Thanks for always liking my posts," which I thought was very appropriate. And I've also got some pumpkin bread. Sliced loaf cake is what it's called, from Aldi. It is the most delicious, soft, moist thing. So good. I've had to really pace myself on this pumpkin stuff, but it's delicious. And, you're allowed to treat yourself every once in a while for seasonal purposes. Well, I'd love to know what you all are planning to work on tonight. And if you're new here and this is totally foreign to you, here's how we're going to do things. Here's the format of tonight. So I call it a creative hangout because I don't want to limit anybody to what they want to do. For me, I'm going to be working on my book, actually a couple different books, because I have what I like to call creative ADD plus actual ADD, and I can't narrow things down. But I wanted to call it a creative hangout because I know not everybody here is a writer. Some of you like to do your mundane chores while hanging out. Some of you like to do more crafty things. Everything is allowed. Whatever you want to prioritize during this time, you're allowed to do that. For me, this is going to be NaNoWriMo. I'm going to be doing 20-minute sprints. I keep saying stints. 20-minute sprints where I do focused work, no distractions for that amount of time. And then we'll take a break. We can chat during the break. We'll do another 20 minutes, and we'll just keep going that way for probably 3, maybe 4 sprints. We'll see how dark it gets, how late it goes. We'll kind of play it by ear. I'm currently wearing the coziest sweatshirt on the planet. This was kindly given to me by my friend Monica, who's also a YouTuber. She surprised me with some adorable happy mail. It fits perfectly. I've basically been living in this, and I don't think I'm gonna narrow it down to just autumn. My dinner delivery person has arrived, aka my dad. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab it. Okay, let's see. I think the angle's better. I adjusted you just a touch. I think that helps. My dinner, I already ate some of my own food, but the addition to my dinner is a tropical smoothie. This is, for anybody curious, wants to know, I get the acai berry. Do you call it acai or acai? Because I've heard it both ways. I call it acai because it takes less time to say, but I always get it without the sweetening syrup because I feel like fruit is sweet enough anyway. It's just a way to make it a little healthier, but it's still delicious. Sarah says, no creative plans here, just going about life and doing stuff. That sounds fine to me. Whatever you want to do to spend time, I'm good with. Can I do a 20-minute nap? Carrie, you are welcome to take a 20-minute nap if you would like to. Oh my goodness. That sounds great, actually. Yeah, I might have to plan that for next time. Have you been to Aldi yet? Yes, I have been to Aldi, Carrie, and I vlogged it because obviously, what was I supposed to do? I went in and it was huge. It smelled new, like a new building. It's massive. I'm used to the one that's in Piqua, which is a ways from me, and it's very dinky. It's very tiny. And this was pleasantly, surprisingly massive. So I was able to get the majority of my groceries all in one place for a pretty good price. And I took you with me. Hope you guys don't mind. And that'll be coming up in a vlog probably in a couple weeks. I have a few actually backed up for once. All right, I think my tea has steeped enough. I'm going to attempt to pour this without making a mess. Do you guys like the ambiance? I love this thing. It is so relaxing. I prefer ambiance videos without music. I find the music really distracting, especially because I'm so particular with the music I listen to. I like to pick my own. But this just has nature, evening, nighttime sounds. And the reason I picked this is because there's a scene in my chai project that takes place on a front porch swing. It's in the autumn time. It's very cute. And this just made me feel like I was jumping into the scene head first. And for anybody wondering, I'm not going to be working on my chai project for NaNoWriMo. It's done. I don't need to write anymore. I'm now in the beta reader stage of my chai project, which I haven't contacted any of my beta readers yet, except for one, my friend Nicole. She's always my first and foremost beta reader. She hasn't started it yet, but I'm very excited to see her thoughts on it. So until the beta reader stage happens, I won't be touching my chai project at all. So what am I going to be working on, you might ask? I have a couple book ideas. There's one that I wrote after college. It needs an overhaul, a complete overhaul. It's a great story. It has good bones, but it's written in a very young voice, a very inexperienced voice. And it just needs, I can do better, basically. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit, trying to reformat that book. And I'm also going to be jumping around, trying to write some of my Night Sky project, the sequel to my Night Sky project. I'm taking a break from book one. I've lived with that story for so many years. I wrote it when I was 19, and it's evolved so many times. I'm too close to it. I just need a total break. And recently I've been inspired to write the second book, so I'm kind of flitting between the two. That's my plan for NaNoWriMo this month. I'm going to be doing a live like this every single Wednesday for this month, which I'm very excited about. I think you all will be lovely company. Sorry, apparently I can't concentrate on talking and pouring. Good gracious. The tea, if anybody's wondering, I mixed two different kinds of teas. One, I can't remember the name of. After I go live, after I'm done, I'll try to link stuff that I've mentioned in the description box so you guys can go back and look. One of them I know is called Vanilla Camoro, and it's by Harney & Sons. They're one of my favorite tea brands. They just make tea so well. And then there's another tea I mixed in that's basically, the only way I can describe it is it's tea, but it's hot chocolate. It's hot chocolate in tea form. And it's so calming, so yummy. It's one of those things you're meant to drink to wind down of an evening. So that's what I'm going to be drinking. Mixed with a little bit of milk, of course. All right. I'm going to do this and then get settled in. I have brought with me, back by popular demand, you all seem to love this, my clicky clacky keyboard. This thing is so nice. It's supposed to light up. It does not light up because I bought it cheap on Amazon. It was one of those, kind of like when you buy a book on Amazon, you can get it brand new for a really expensive price, or you can get it a little bit loved for a cheaper price. This keyboard was a little bit loved, and that love showed itself in the fact that it cannot light up, which is fine. I don't mind. But it sounds amazing. I'm going to check really quick. Make sure it works. Yay! It is connected. Perfect. All right. We're going to start our first 20-minute sprint. You're welcome to do whatever you would like as far as your project, whether it's laundry, making dinner, just reading a book that you've been meaning to write and haven't had time, participating in NaNoWriMo. Those are all valid things. Or, as Carrie put, taking a nap. That's okay too. All right, let's get started. I'm going to get a timer going. My phone told me that I've gone live. It's notified me, hey, Cassandra Joy's gone live. Thank you. I'm aware. I appreciate it, though. That's funny. That made me laugh. All right. Let's do 20 minutes. Starting now. Get yourself a snack, something cozy to drink. Let's get settled in. We're doing a sprint, a focused sprint. Go away. No. Sorry, everyone. That was my little brother wondering what I was doing. He's like, talk to them. No, we're focused. My goodness, that went fast. I was not ready to stop. I also moved my lamp so that maybe you could see me a little better. Although it's not red in real life, it makes me look red on here. I don't know why that is. Not sure how to fix that. It's getting so dark now. Usually I had a little bit of light to help me out, but we're in fall, almost winter, and apparently that means living in total darkness for the majority of our 24-hour day. All right, how did you do? If you were working on a project, how far did you get? Were you able to focus, get some stuff done that you wanted to? Let me know in the comments how you're doing. I've finished 1 cup of tea, and I'm about to pour another. It was very good. I also think I might dig into this pumpkin bread. I'm not going to lie. So if you haven't gotten yourself a snack yet, or a drink, or grabbed a cozy blanket, now's your time. It's hard to tell, like, how my progress is going because I have a lot of this story written. Younger me wrote quite a bit, but I have to almost line edit. I have to go line by line and adjust how I wrote it. Add in descriptions, change dialogue. It all, when I say a complete overhaul, I mean a complete overhaul, which is very time consuming. I've only gotten 3 paragraphs done because I've gone back and forth seeing how I wrote it first and rewriting it over here. I have 2 documents open side by side. So this is going to be a tedious project. I'm up for it. I'm happy to do it because I think it's a story worth reading and worth finishing. But it's just not as quick as starting with a blank page and just creatively going. So it's hard for me to, I can't really give you a word count. Oh, I've written this many words because it's not that kind of project. But I think I'm doing good. It's just going to be tedious. And I've made my peace with that. Let's see. Shamin Adventure says, just joining, finished making dinner. Very good. Congratulations. What did you make? What did you make, fam? How are you, by the way? Are you enjoying your book? Shamin Adventure was one of the giveaway winners I had on Instagram, and she has officially received her book. Have you opened it yet? She told me she was trying to wait to open it at an opportune time, and the self-restraint was very difficult, which I completely understand. Mr. Lister. Oh my word. For anybody in the comments who doesn't know, Mr. Lister is my brother. Why are you on here? He says snacks are essential. My word. Jade says, how long are you streaming? I love this. Jade, I'm going to be streaming for the next little while. So if you haven't had dinner yet, go grab yourself something. Here's the format for anybody jumping on who doesn't know. This is a creative hangout. You get to do all the things that you put off because real life happens. This is a 20-minute sprint where we focus for 20 minutes doing just that project. For me, I'm participating in NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And I will not be finishing a novel in the space of a month, but I want to work on one. This is dedicated time for me to pursue rewriting a book that I half wrote straight out of college. Younger me did a great job, but older me needs to fix it. So that's where we're at with my project. But if you are not a writer, you don't have to participate in NaNoWriMo. That's why I kind of call it a creative hangout when I refer to this, because I want everybody to feel like they can do whatever they want. If there's a book that you've been meaning to read and just have been putting off because you don't have time, totally understand that. This is the opportunity you can use, if you want to read that book. You can make dinner. You can do laundry. Make those mundane tasks that you have to do because we're all adults and we have to do grown-up things more fun because we're hanging out together. My brother says, would you rather I don't support my beloved sister in her hobbies? Well, There's always a first time. So funny. He's a hoot. Anyway, well, little brother, are you going to be participating in this creative hangout, doing 20-minute sprints of something focused? That's my question. Do you guys have any questions for me, by the way? I want to open the floor during this little chatty break for you to ask me anything you want. I'm going to try to sit up here, move my keyboard out of my lap so I can eat I almost said popsicle. That's not the word. Pumpkin slice. These are so delicious. They're from Aldi. Not keto, but we're not going to talk about that. This is a guilt-free snack. This is a focus break. Has fall come to your area yet? For us, the leaves have all turned colors. It's chilly. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have known that it snowed. You can probably tell by my tone that I'm not thrilled with that. For anybody new and doesn't know, Winter and I are frenemies. We get along perfectly around the 2 weeks surrounding Christmas, and that's it. Other than that, we just really despise each other. Winter freezes my car over, so I have to take extra time, get up earlier to heat it up and defrost it. It makes the roads hazardous for me to drive. You know, it's a really inconsiderate season all around. Christmas is the only bright light in the winter gloom. Jade says, I hate the winter, and I'm in the worst state for it. If you feel comfortable sharing, what state do you live in? I'm going to guess Minnesota. It's the first place I could think of that has a lot of snow in the winter. Oh, I was right! Oh my gosh, I guessed correctly! Woo-hoo. How many points do I get for guessing correctly? That's so funny. If you're from Minnesota, do you watch the YouTubers Bryce and Haley? They are Minnesotians, and they vlog really cool travel videos. They camp a lot. They do road trips. And they did this all through their dating life. And now that they're married, they do it together. They just had a little girl, so they've been taking her along on some adventures, firsts for her. And it's just the most darling thing. Bryce and Haley. Bryce with a Y. They are very cute couples. They are a very cute couple. I enjoy their stuff. And they're nice and long vlogs most of the time. Yeah, definitely look them up. Well, if nobody has any questions for me, I might jump back in. You know that, maybe you don't know, but there's this thing with having long hair. You love it because it frames your face really well and you look really pretty with it down, like you feel pretty. But when you're focused, all you want to do is just have it out of your face and up. And I'm struggling with, ooh, my plant just fell down. Excuse you, that was rude. We're in the middle of a live. This is not the moment to misbehave. Yes, I talk to inanimate objects. What are you going to do? Anyway, I am the kind of person that needs my hair out of my face when I'm focusing, and I'm struggling between wanting to look nice for the camera and also having it out of my face. What was that? Oh, this fell down. I see. Jade says, I'm one of those people whose messy bun to get stuff done does not look cute. Listen, when the camera is not rolling, I do not look the same. The bun is unattractive. The clothes, sloppy. Nothing you would want to post on Instagram, let's put it that way. So don't feel bad. Katerinsky says it snowed here this morning in Northeast Ohio. Did it? It tried to snow last night. I woke up in the morning with frost on the ground yesterday, and then midway through the evening, it tried to snow. There were flakes falling from the heavens, and I posted on Instagram and threw a little bit of a fit. I was like, no, it is not time for winter yet. Wait your turn. Tried. It most definitely snowed last night. You have pictures. You know, you're not helpful, little brother. You're not helpful at all. If you want to be helpful, you can come upstairs and turn on a light for me so I don't have to get up. That would be helpful. I know it's so depressing and cold. Winter, I'm really working on trying to romanticize winter. I'm trying to find a way to not let it get me so down. Winter is just such a gloomy. You can.
I'm using your streamer.
Thank
privileges.
you. Can you turn? Wait, I need you to turn on the far light. Whoa, that's a lot of light. Not that many.
Just this one?
No,
Yeah,
I want it.
You
Well,
do look very red on camera.
I know. I don't know why.
This is an orange light, but it's really
It is.
emphasizing the
But
red.
then if I don't have it on me, look.
Can you just turn that one on?
No, I can't just turn that one on. Guys, hold on. Technical difficulties. Give us a minute. Go grab yourself a snack or just watch the show because it's probably going to be amusing. Try the other one. Let's see. I wanted it to be cozy. Oh, it's so...
Is that stark on camera, though?
Yeah, well, yeah, because it reflects off my mirror.
Oh. If you put the other that one on you again, does it kind of change it?
I'm still kind of red.
Mm.
Is there a remote on that light there? The bookshelf light? Is there a remote anywhere?
This one? A remote?
No, the one behind you.
No, there's no remote.
There's a remote that changes the color of the bulb, but I don't know if it's there.
I'm not seeing it.
Well, phooey.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
It's quite dusty. You haven't touched it.
I leave my lights as they are. I wanted to see if maybe, you have to let me know, guys, if, oh, there. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, let's see if we can do, no, it's going to backlight me if I don't. Something like, your head is popped into the,
like over in
it's
the
like
corner?
a floating head on the corner. Are you guys enjoying this trial and error setup?
So you can't hear it, but Cassie's like over here on the screen actually has some sound coming from it, the sound of like falling leaves.
Yeah, I told them that.
Okay.
But the problem is they can't hear it when it's up anyway, so I figured I'd turn it down. It's not a big deal. Okay, how's the lighting? Can you guys let me know? Hello, you. Jade says hello.
Hi, Jade. How you?
Little brothers are good for something.
If you want to see the snow we had some.
Oh, don't show them that. They'll be so sad and depressed.
That was our trash can. I took the trash out last night. I saw that. I'm like, nope.
Don't show the front of the house or anything.
Nope.
Privacy is key.
Privacy.
Yeah. That is a little baby amount.
A little baby amount?
Yes.
Oh, that looks like a baby amount.
I mean, we've had worse.
No, we've had worse.
To begin with, though.
But I wasn't expecting it.
I know.
Like it came
we
out
had
of nowhere.
such warm weather all of a sudden, and then we had warm weather. It was great. It was the perfect fall, and then Ohio had to strike.
It's Ohio for you.
She has mood swings.
Mm-hmm. You can't predict her.
Nope. All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Do you need any other lights changed? Can I get you a warm towelette?
You could give me $1 million. I'd be sure happy for that.
I would take it and run.
Well, what good are you?
If I'm gonna hold $1 million in my hand, like I'm not giving this to anyone. No, this is mine now.
Fine.
If you're nice to me, I can share.
I am very nice.
The only reason you're acting offended is because you know that you didn't pass the button past the test.
Go away.
I'm very nice.
Go away.
You have to say it.
Good gracious. Last year we had over how much? You're not serious. 120 inches of snow. Tell me that's not a true statement. Give tips on romanticizing winter. Do a video. Ooh, okay. I can work with that. That's what I was talking about. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'd love to romanticize winter because I really do struggle. I think I have that seasonal winter blues that some people get. I definitely get winter blues. And I just would like this year to be different. I would really like to not feel so blue and bitter about winter. I do think it'll help that I don't have a massive commute to work anymore. My commute is much shorter, which has been lovely. So I won't have to worry about traffic or accidents or hazardous conditions like that. I think that will help a lot. I don't know, but I like that idea. Thank you for suggesting that, Katarinsky. I appreciate that. All right. Are we ready to start another sprint? Everybody cool? Everybody comfy? I'm going to take another bite of pumpkin bread because it's so good. I really need to, after I have this slice, I need to close the lid because if I leave it open, we all know what'll happen. And just as a reminder, we're doing these lives every Wednesday this month. So you're invited to every single one of them if you'd like to join. Okay. Everybody ready? I'm going to start a new timer unless you have any last minute questions you'd like to ask before we jump in. Going once. Going twice. Okay. All right, let's do this. Starting 20-minute timer now. All right. Second sprint is done. Again, I was not ready to stop. I went down a little bit of a research rabbit hole trying to find this specific stone. So for reference, if you're curious, the book I'm working on, the one I wrote just out of college, it takes place in the 1930s, part of the time in England, but most of the time in Egypt. So I have to do a lot of research in regards to time appropriate facts about Egypt. And one of them, I needed to know what sort of gemstones Egypt had access to, because I didn't know. I was thinking jade, but apparently that's a China thing, not an Egyptian thing. So I found something called lapis lazuli, lapis lazuli. It's this beautiful royal blue. I didn't know that was a thing. It's gorgeous. I think I need one in a ring or something. I kind of collect turquoise rings now, but I think I need one of these because it's beautiful. So I've now inserted that into the story after a little bit of a rabbit hole. It's really fun. Actually, I'll share this with you in case any of you like Egyptian things. I have always had a fascination with Egyptian mythology. I obviously don't believe in it at all. Oops, I hit a button. But I find the lore fascinating. Like, to me, it feels like a bedtime story, the stuff they believed in. It just is very fantastical and ridiculous and fascinating. I have fallen in love with this series by Elizabeth Peters. If you're wanting a long series that is easy to read, it's enticing, there's always a mystery, but it's a lighthearted story, if that makes sense. It takes place in Victorian England, but a lot of Egyptian as well. You want to read the Amelia Peabody series. If you've ever watched the movie The Mummy, it's those vibes, but Victorian England. It's very fun. I got addicted to the series. The audiobooks are incredible. And apparently the author was such a, what's the word? Expert, I guess, on Egypt that she wrote this. You're not going to be able to see it, but it's called Amelia Peabody's Egypt, a compendium, edited by Elizabeth Peters. There are pictures in here. It has, this is going to be probably my holy grail of research other than Google. Amelia Peabody is the main character in the book. Elizabeth Peters is the author, but she had to become an expert on all things Egyptian so that Amelia Peabody and her husband, who are Victorian archaeologists and excavators, could know what they were talking about. They spend half their time in England, because that's originally where they're from. And then in the off season, I think, or for the season, I forget now, it's been a while, they go to Egypt and live there full time for the majority of the year and dig up tombs to try to find history and treasure. They're not treasure hunters. They want to preserve things as much as possible and do it the right way. But then, of course, there's a lot of hunters that do it the wrong way, and they don't care what damage they inflict on fragile, irreplaceable history in the process. They just want the treasure. There's always a mystery to be solved, usually a murder mystery, but not always. The humor is top notch. Oh my goodness. It's just all the Victorian sass you could think of, but it's written in a little bit of more of a modern way, so that it's not written like Pride and Prejudice, if that makes sense. It's just a little more modern. It's such a good series if you want to dive into one. So the contents of this book, I'll just read you a few things. This is what it holds in all these pages, with pictures included. A historical background into Amelia Peabody's journals. Love Among Ruins, excerpt from the unpublished journal of Professor Radcliffe Emerson. These are all the characters. A splendid overview of Egyptology. Napoleon to World War I. A commanding perspective. The British in Egypt, 1884 to 1917. Cultural background. An expert analysis of the principles of Islam as encountered by the Emersons. Like, she went into so much detail and history. This is obviously a massive book. So I have this next to me in case I need to refer to it. But if you have any interest at all in Egyptian mythology, the Amelia Peabody series by Elizabeth Peters, oh my word, why was my brain malfunctioning, is such a good series. The humor, oh my goodness. Okay, so at the beginning, the very first book, they don't have children, but then I think the second book, their son is born, and he becomes this really incredible character. He's my favorite character, honestly. He grows up pretty fast throughout the series, but when he's a kid, he's just the most rambunctious. Like, he's like Aladdin. He gets into that much mischief, but he's incredibly intelligent for his age. When he's 5, he's talking like an adult, which adds to the humor. He can speak a bajillion languages because he just hangs out with the locals and learns them on his own time. And he's very fun. And then when he grows up, toward the end of the series, and he falls in love, it's just so cute. Obviously, I love this series, and I'm very passionate about it. Jade says, this is awesome. Have to go for now, but we'll be back next Wednesday, maybe. Thank you, Jade. I'm sure you probably left already, but thank you for stopping by and hanging out. I appreciate you being here. Hope this was beneficial to you and you got to get some focused time on something important. I don't know what I want to do. I feel like I'm doing really well as far as this sprint. Again, I didn't want it to stop, but I think this feels... what I'm writing feels more like me. I can inject a little bit more maturity into the writing. I'm not rewriting everything, but I'm adding a lot of little bits of detail that were in my head at the time, but I didn't put them down. So I'll give you an example. This won't be a spoiler because it's on the first page. We find a good comparison. Benjamin ducked as his younger sister threw a miniature clay statue of Anubis in his direction, which shattered against the wall right where his head had just been. That was the original sentence. What I fixed it to be, Benjamin ducked as his sister launched a hand-sized replica of Anubis at his head. He heard the plaster shatter against the wall behind him, clattering in broken chunks onto the hardwood. Doesn't that sound way better? It wasn't changed all that much, but just enough to sound, I can't explain it, better. It feels more fleshed out. So this is kind of fun. I like seeing how my writing has improved over so many years. This was probably around, when do you think I wrote this? Probably around the age of 19, 20, early 20s at the latest. And I can see a difference between my writing style, my ability to paint a picture. A lot of what I was seeing in my head didn't get transported onto the page. And it's encouraging in a weird way. It's cringy to read my old writing and be like, ooh, I thought that was good back then, and realizing it is not the greatest. But that just goes to show that practice and time and repetition and not giving up pays off. Yes, this was very good. I cranked out a bit in that 20 minutes. I was on a roll too. I know. I don't want to make it a 30-minute sprint. That feels really long, but 20 minutes doesn't feel long enough. Anyway, we probably need to do that. Stop and stretch. Everybody stretch. Everybody get your wiggles out. Walk around, get a drink of water if you have to. That's something I always forget to do, is stretch. I don't think about it. I stay in gremlin pose for, I don't know, hours, and then wonder when I finally do move why everything hurts. It's because you're not a teenager anymore. You can't do that. You're in your 30s. You're encroaching on old. Your body can't do the same thing anymore. Oh no. Well, that was unfortunate. I had all my tea bags, like the tails of them over here so they wouldn't fall in, and I forgot, and they all fell in. Oh well. That's okay. I'll fish them out later. Pour myself a little more tea. I'm thinking I might do 2 more sprints and then call it an evening. And I won't lie, I'll probably keep working. But again, I'll adopt a gremlin position off camera so that I can really get into things. But this is fun. I'm really enjoying this. I love focusing on a project with other people. I don't know if you are this way. I'm an extrovert, so people are kind of my thing. I know a lot of introverts are like, no, I'd like to do this alone. Thank you. Please and thank you. I'm not that way. For me, being around creativity feeds my own creativity. And to have this set aside time not only keeps me accountable for the projects I want to get done, but it also gives me an opportunity to hang out with all of you and do this creative thing together. I don't know, it just sort of feeds my own inspiration and creativity. And I love that. I love having a community I can do that with. So thank you for being here. Whether you're here at the live or watching this after the fact, I really appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. Okay. I think I'm going to start a new sprint, and we'll do 2 more and then call it an evening. All right. 20-minute sprint starting now. All right, that's the end of sprint number 3. They're not long enough. Just like I feel like I'm getting into the zone, I'm starting to make progress. The alarm goes off. Oh, well, that's all right. How are y'all doing? How are your projects so far? I have to remember to stretch, or else I'll pay for it tomorrow with a very stiff neck. I got through, let's see how many paragraphs. Actually, I got through about half a page. Not bad, considering I'm pretty much line editing at this point. I'll definitely have to go back and add detail that I've missed. I mean, this is just a first run through. This is a lot of tweaking, but I think there's good bones here, and I'm liking how it's shaping up so far. Let me see if I can give you an example of a before and after of how I changed something. I know that helps me a lot. Let's see. Let me look. See if I can find a good one. I can't really find one. Oh, here's one. This is the before. Melly paused mid-throw and turned around to look at him. Ben wished she hadn't. Her eyes were red and puffy, her cheeks stained with tears. He hated it when she cried because then he got angry. And then what I wrote instead was, Melly paused mid-throw, pivoting to look at him over her shoulder. Ben wished she hadn't. Her blue eyes, usually bright and warm, were red and puffy now, their color a bitingly cold gray like a sleety winter storm. Residue of ruined makeup tracked down her cheeks. Ben hated it when she cried because it made anger burn like whiskey through his veins. Isn't that so much better? It's richer. It's more fleshed out. I just love seeing the difference. I haven't saved in a while. Let me save my document. Probably a smart thing to do. I'm definitely making progress. It's not going to be fast, and that's okay. This is what writing's like. When you're taking a story that's already half created and improving it, my goodness, I don't know how people do line editing for a living as a profession. That would be so soul-sucking to me. Like, I would much rather create. I would much rather think of a world, put it on paper, make it come alive, and be done. I don't think I could go in, well, if it's not my own story, I'd be fine. I could probably edit someone else's story, see the problems, fix the plot holes, maybe not all the way to line editing, but do some damage on getting it better. With my own stuff, that is not fun to me. There is no creativity in the nuance of editing. None. It's not satisfying. It's not fun. I don't want to do it. But I know that comes with the territory of being an author. And if I want to get my stuff on shelves, that's probably most likely going to be part of my future. But we're not there yet. Right now, for my chai project, I'm in the beta reader stage. I'm going to have to ask some of my people if they'd like to beta read it. And then we'll see what they have to say. I'm sure they'll have some really good insights or opinions. I hope they do anyway. But for now, this one, this is going to be, it's going to be a toughie, but a good one. All right, I'm going to go to the restroom really quick. See if I can escape my little corner. So if you haven't yet, stretch, walk around, grab yourself something to drink, something cozy to snack on. If you haven't had dinner already, eat some dinner. Big sister time, eat some dinner. You need to eat. I know when I'm focusing, I forget to do that. I just hyper focus on what I'm doing and forget all of my basic human needs. This is me telling you to take a break, get something to drink, get something to eat. You're basically, it's like that quote, you're basically like a houseplant. You need food, water, and sun to survive. All right, I will be right back. Take a second for yourselves while I go do this. I'm back. Still here. So, how's everyone doing with their projects? Do you have any updates? And if you don't, that's fine too. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask while we're taking this break? I think I'm going to pour the last dregs of my tea. Finish that off. This has been so yummy. That hot chocolate, but it's tea taste. Oh, so good. I didn't know that could be a thing. It's amazing. You know, when you're wanting something cozy, warming yourself from the inside out with a cup of tea, just there's nothing like it. There's no comparison. I love it. Sometimes I get cold, and I don't get cold often, but when I do, I can't warm up. And sometimes the only way I can do it is by drinking tea to warm me from the inside out. And it's just the coziest feeling. You're going to make some cocoa now? Ooh, yay! Definitely should. You should add some nutmeg or cinnamon, make it a little extra special for the fall. I don't know if anybody else is that way, but maybe it's part of wanting to romanticize everything. But I like doing special little extras for the mundane things. Even though hot chocolate in itself isn't mundane, I still like to make it a little extra special. Add a dollop of pumpkin puree and mix it in, or a little bit of honey. Yum. I'm getting hungry now, and I shouldn't be hungry because I've been snacking on pumpkin bread the whole time. All right. I think I'm going to start the last sprint. I half expected, while I went to the restroom, I half expected my brother to jump in on the chair while I was away. It's just something he would do. I think he knows he would not live long if he did that. I'm just kidding. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of stretching. You know, I haven't even touched my smoothie. Totally forgot about it. Oops. Oh no. They added the sweetener. I can taste it. Wow. Once you're used to not having sweet stuff very often, it tastes 10 times sweeter than normal when you do have it. Okay, everybody settled? Everybody ready? We're going to do one more. Let me write it down here. Sprint number 4. Let's do this. All right. 20-minute sprint. Last one. Starting now. Goodness. Mm. All right, we're done with the 4th sprint. The last one. I came too fast. I was in the zone. Oh, that's all right. I did pretty good. I was able to describe the room that my characters are in, which was all sorts of creatively fun. I had to go do a lot of research, Google research, one of which being what a layout of a house, a living room specifically, looked like in the 1930s, which there are not a lot. I looked up 1930s English cottage interior design, and a few popped up, but I don't think they're historic. I think they're reminiscent of the 30s. So I worked with what I could find. And then I had to, well, I was trying to find out, this is such a niche thing, what kind of wood was used in England in the 1930s for firewood. Like, only an author would ask such a question, right? Sometimes I wonder if anybody were to look at my Google history, they would be so confused. Why does this girl want to know what sort of firewood was used in the 30s in England? So funny. I could not find the answer to that, so I just made a very vague reference to just wood in general, more of what it smelled like. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what kind of firewood people used in the 30s so that I could then look up what that firewood smelled like so I could describe it. But I couldn't find it, so I did what I could. When in doubt, just make it up. or skip it and describe it a different way. There's lots of workarounds for answers you can't find. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of that for this book because not only does it take place partly in Egypt, which I know next to nothing about other than the many documentaries I've absorbed over the years, but it also takes place in England, a place I don't live, in the 30s, a time I am totally unfamiliar with. So this is just, I mean, it might as well be a fantasy story where I'm starting from scratch, except these places existed, so I have to stick to at least enough historical accuracy to be believable, to set the scene. I can't just make it the 1930s, but then have it not sound or feel or look like the 30s. Any historian worth their salt would just laugh my book out of all bookstores. And we can't have that. So this is just, oof, we're heavy into the things right now, but that's okay. That's what makes this exciting. And that's why I picked this for my project, because I wanted something I could really sink my teeth into and feel proud of by the end. Return of the Native talks a lot about the fire they burn in that village. Really? Return of the Native. I'm going to write that down so I can look it up later. I have a to remember note on my phone for any and all random things I need to remember. Return of the Native. What a funny thing for you to know. Like, so helpful. Thank you. But isn't that funny? I would never think that bit of knowledge would help someone. Like, were I to have read that and be like, oh, wow, this gives a lot of descriptions about firewood. This might help someone someday. That would never cross my mind. This is why I love this community. You all are so willing to help me. I love it. Well, I hope this first session of NaNoWriMo was fun, that you all enjoyed tagging along on your various projects. I know I feel like I've gotten a good portion of this first chapter, the first few pages, done. I think if I were just writing it or editing it, it would feel different. I would have a different goalpost to work toward, but because this is basically line editing, I'm allowing myself to have a slower pace of progress. I was not expecting to get 10 pages done. I was not expecting to get 5 pages done. I think I got how many pages? How many pages? I'm curious now. 1.5 pages. I got 1.5 pages done. That's so sad. How many of these did we do? 20, 40, 60 minutes, give or take. No, way more than that because we've been chatting, but 2 hours and 30 minutes-ish. In all that time, I've done 1.5 pages. Wow. That's okay. That's what NaNoWriMo is for. It's a goal. I'm really struggling to make this sound like a positive. It's fine. It's good. I'm excited for this project. I can't wait for this book to be something new, something that's evolved into what I thought it could be back then to what I know it can be now. And it's really fun to delve into a world I haven't occupied in so many years. At least, definitely over 10 years. I haven't touched this book in that long. So this has been fun. I've been really enjoying it. And as I said before, I'm going to be doing this every single Wednesday through the month of November for NaNoWriMo. Whether you're working on your own novel or your own creative things or just trying to find time to get laundry done with some good company, you are welcome anytime during any process of these 20-minute sprints. And I hope you can make the next one next week. Thank you to everybody who showed up. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one. Good luck with NaNoWriMo. Hope your November has started off strong. Thank you for spending the first day of November with me tonight, and I can't wait till next time. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a future video from me, and don't miss the next live session because this is going to be a fun creative hangout. There will be drinks, there will be snacks, there will be chatting, and there will be writing. What more could you want? Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Definitely will be back next week. Perfect. Thanks so much. I'll see you then. Bye.